The original invitation was to show Salvage. And we started the conversation thinking about how it might hold the space by itself, or if not, what might be paired with it. It's almost an archive of 16 years or so. So there are many different pieces that echo elements of it. You know, it fits with a lot of different things. I settled on urban transformations because I think that although in some ways it's a very different piece. You know, this Salvage is, as I mentioned, kind of an archive or a collection, even a documentation somehow, like this record, this relic of sources of inspiration that are often overlooked as kind of trash and then taken up again. So it's kind of a notation, like reminders, and that's very different from urban transformations. But if you look at it even visually, there's so many of these elements in these prints over here that are actually even the same ones. You know, so there are images of this rope and twine and danger fencing and kind of architectural scaffolding structure, chains, and that's just as present over here as it is over there, you know, in the installation and in these discrete prints. And on some level, this is, you know, it's the same stuff, it's just kind of exploded on this wall, sewn differently, culled from a slightly different kind of range, not only the shop, you know, my own studio, but also the real world out there, kind of, you know, picked up scraps from, you know, walking around on the sidewalk. Whereas urban transformation are these little knots. So they're these very contained clusters of the same material. So visually they work very differently. Conceptually they have a big difference, but they also conceptually have that resonance. So they are, in some ways, that accumulation talking about urban detritus. You know, I mean, I love thinking about it as both a large drawing and as a sum of, you know, many individual drawn objects. You know, and I can point at each piece and know where it came from, know what other pieces, what other installations or collages or series of work or kind of moments in my own studio life or even personal life each one inhabited or came from. There's history, and that, you know, is an interesting conversation to have, you know, maybe with other people, but also in one's own work, and it's gratifying for me to see that.